Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex Huberman, and I'm a first-year medical school student in a 4-year postgraduate degree at the St. George University of London. And today I wanted to take you through my search for the perfect transcription app for lectures. In my personal opinion, transcribing lectures, taking notes during lectures, for me has been historically throughout my academic career a little bit of a waste of time. You're not really interacting with the material that much, and it's hard to retain the information you're getting. For me, the purpose of a lecture is to understand the material, and the purpose of the notes would be to view the lecture at a later time. And so to facilitate that, I've been testing out 2 different transcription apps. Both use an AI program that transcribes the lectures, and they've been pretty good so far with transcribing the various terms that we use in medical school. For example, I used one of them, I'll get to in a second. I used one of them to transcribe a pharmacology lecture with lots of different names of the various drugs that were mentioned in the lecture, and it worked pretty well, to be honest. And so first, what I want to do is mention briefly my system of how I study lectures using the transcription tools. And so basically what I'll do is I'll play the lecture, I'll listen to the lecture, and at the same time, the transcription app will be recording the lecture, and I'll have the slides open as well on my iPad, where I'm able to take notes on the actual lecture slides using Notability. Hopefully I'll be able to make a video about how I use Notability at another time. But until then, what I'll do is I'll be listening to the lecture, taking whatever notes I can, mostly just these side points maybe that aren't mentioned or that I think are important, and I'll be transcribing the lecture at the same time. That's step 1. And step 2, I will take the transcription copy and I'll send it to my Notability app, where I'll be able to review both the lecture slides alongside the transcription notes, side to side at the same time. And the reason why I do this is I find, actually, for 2 reasons, I find transcribing or taking notes on everything the professor says during his lecture to be, 1, time consuming, and number 2, mentally draining. I think that you can use that mental energy that you put into listening to the lecture, listening to it twice, pausing, and taking those notes. You can use that to actually interact with the material at a later point. And so what I'll do is, using that transcription notes, I'll make Anki Cards. For those who don't know, Anki is a flashcard app which uses a memory algorithm. Hopefully I'll be able to make a video on this as well. This app has literally saved my life for exams, and it uses this memory algorithm to basically, the idea is that whenever you're going to forget a flashcard, it'll show up again and you won't forget it, and it'll do that. And over time, through spaced repetition, you end up retaining a lot of this information a lot more. And so I'll be able to make Anki Cards using the transcription that has been recorded for me to make these Anki Cards, and it's just much easier, saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of mental drainage, and in general just helps me to get through the day of lectures that is my life right now. The study principle that I'm really using here is interaction. That's the name of the game. I think when you interact with the material a lot more, it's been shown that this is a much more efficient way at learning information and specifically retaining that information. There's a 2-step process here. Number 1, you learn information, and number 2, you need to recall that information at a later time. And using apps like Anki have been life-changing for me, and this is just a much quicker way at getting to that point where you remember that information. And so onto the transcription apps that I've been using. I've been testing out 2 different apps. I've been testing out Sonics and I've been testing out Otter, both great transcription apps. Neither are perfect, so there are going to be mistakes in the transcription, but like I said, I used Otter at least for a pharmacology lecture, and it worked pretty well, I'd say. I was pretty impressed. Nonetheless, when I go through the lecture at a later point and I do the split screen technique that I was talking about before, and I'll have on the one side the transcription, the other side I'll have the next lecture slides that I got from the lecturer. I'll go see it, I'll go through it, and I'll see the different mistakes that are in the transcription, and I'll be able to fix them as I go through them. And so in my search for the perfect transcription app, I haven't found the perfect one. However, both work really well, both Otter and Sonix. And for both, I've been able to export the file in whatever format Notability is able to read. And thus, I've been able to do that technique with the dual screens. And so for both Sonix and for Otter, I've been able to export the final transcription document in whatever format Notability is able to read. And so I've been able to do the dual screen technique when I review. However, Sonix is not free. There is, I think, about 30 minutes of free recording that you get with it, whereas for Otter, there's a completely free version of it, which has so far worked out. It has about 600 minutes of recording space available. However, you can also just delete that because, like I said, you're exporting the file anyways to Notability, where you can keep an unlimited amount of space. The paid version doesn't really offer that many features that I would say are worth paying I think it's something like $9 per month, and Sonix as well is around that price. And so I've been using Otter a lot more, and I'm pretty happy with it. And I wanted to share that with you because I think that this principle of interacting with the material is much more effective and much more efficient and productive even at learning the material and spending your time and being able to create Anki cards with the literal transcription, the words of your professor, which of course will be what is going to be asked on the exams. Thanks everyone for tuning in. That concludes the video for today's vlog. I hope this was helpful. I just thought I would share a little bit of my search for the perfect transcription app AI. I'll be linking some of these in the description below, some links, I think useful links to some of these programs. And don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like for more medical school related productivity videos.